In an ancient time, when a terrible evil threatens the land, only one man can save the world.
Say what? Get out of here.
What? What's the meaning of this?
Oh, we'll just take off that broken record.
I say.
Here, hold my earrings while I take this monster down. I've got your back, darling. We just might burn down this town. Oh no, oh yeah. When you're up against a challenge and you need a helping hand, we've got an arsenal of fireballs, steel stilettos, and a cat. Oh yeah.
Hi, welcome to Here Hold My Earrings. My name is Al, and I'm your DM for the day. Today we have Henrietta, Yvonne, Laura, Yoni, and Rebecca. Henrietta?
Hi, I'm Henrietta. I'm from Norway, and I play a color-star druid named Dalin.
Yvonne?
Hi, I'm Yvonne from Canada, and I play Cracker, a half-orc barbarian.
Laura?
Hi, I'm Laura from Germany, and I'm playing Byleth, a dragonborn wizard.
Yoni?
Hi, I'm Yoni. I'm from Belgium, and I play a half-elf bard named Mira.
And Rebecca.
Hi, I'm Rebecca. I'm the German Nummer 2, and I play Orla, a human cleric.
This is great.
If we don't start getting a cult following in Germany, I'll be very disappointed. Excellent. And Yoni has very kindly offered to do the recap this week.
Okay, yeah. So, not yesterday, last week, we started off in the room where you can see the table with all of the buttons. Just finishing a long rest before we went to the chapel over here. In order to get there, we had to cross a bridge which was badly damaged. So Dalin decided to be an acrobat and crossed the bridge via the crane. She got a very high score, so she did a somersault. Mira then fixed the bridge so that everyone else could pass. We then opened the doors to the temple after looting a body. And there in the chapel, we saw many bodies. Ghosts were moving around all over the place. There was this one figure on the dais, and other ghosts were trying to get to that figure, but there was some sort of force field or something holding them back, so they couldn't get there. And there was also this statue of the previously mentioned, a god with a red gem. Then Mira played the song that we heard during the last episode where Mira pushed the button and an alarm started playing. And the creature on the dais reacted to it and started talking to the party in Gnomish, which unfortunately no one understood. Battle begun. Magic ran wild because our magic is doing crazy stuff over here. Orla summoned a unicorn, which was a big thing. Moxie could teleport all of a sudden. Mira is kind of deaf, which is not that good for a bard. But we
Might be
fought
good for some of the other people around the bard.
Yeah, true. They might appreciate it, to be honest. Because ultimately the ghosts were defeated, and one of the ghosts said the house Duskrin was slaughtered and it remembers, or something along those lines. Ultimately, the creature on the dais also collapsed. It started glowing, and people who were wearing rings and amulets could feel them warming up, but they also got the chills. When all of the creatures were dead, we could finally see that we were in a gorgeous chapel, but it had been defiled. There were smashed frescoes, done by people who really hate a specific religion. And that's where we are now.
Excellent. Well done. Thank you very much, Yoni. Would anyone like to add anything? All right. So you've got this obviously defiled temple of Kaladar Smoothhands, the primary patron deity of the Sverfneblin subrace of gnomes. That's a statue of a good-looking fellow right there. Not sure why he's got those little Japanese shoes on.
Comfort.
Have you ever tried those? They are not comfortable.
No, I
Style.
haven't.
Mm,
Plus, they
I mean, heels
make.
aren't comfortable either, but we still wear them.
yeah.
Yeah, that's. I don't know how you girls do it. I tried it once and nearly broke my ankle. I was like, I'm not doing this for charity. This is crazy. It was one of those auctions where all the guys dress in drag.
Nice.
Hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
beauty is pain. This
Yeah.
guy would agree. With the shoes.
Luckily, I didn't have to like shave my legs or anything, or wax. Okay, so you are in the temple. It's been defiled. There are lots of skeletons. Most of the skeletons that you see are what appear to be drow warriors of various sizes, but they all bear what you've now come to learn is the House Duskrin symbol on their tabards. And the other bodies here are what appear to be a mixture of Sverfneblin, so-called engineers, whom you now understand are a combination of both technical as well as potentially divine um, men and women of importance, as well as some people who appear to be either former guardians of the temple and also some folks who seem to be just good old civilians, some children, some people who, you can't really tell at this stage because it's been over 100 years other than the size of the skeletons and possibly what's left of their clothing. But they aren't necessarily wearing armor or carrying weapons as they died. Some of them even died, they've been slaughtered and stabbed through the back, pinned to what appear to be ruined divine scrolls and books. Even one was killed on the actual altar itself. And of course, the symbol of Kalardaran, smooth hands, up here, a golden ring with a many-pointed star is on the back of the temple in the alcove area. What would you like to do? These statues, by the way, here and here, which is also how this is how they look. They look like these. They do have what appear to be red stones or possibly gems in the hands of each of the statues. And one of the statues even has two little glowing gemstones in the eyes.
Mira would like to cast Detect Magic, which will take 10 minutes.
Ritually. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So while Mira is focusing on Detect Magic, she won't be able to do a whole lot else. She can walk around, but she can't really interact with the rest of the environment because she's basically taking the whole 10 minutes to concentrate on this. So is anybody else doing anything?
I
There's
like
three byleths currently, but that won't last forever, obviously. But if you guys want to walk around, it'll be like this.
So is
Nice.
anyone hurt like badly or like more than one person?
Yeah. I'm
Right.
feeling it.
Let's do a
bloodied,
show of hand.
but
Who's okay? I mean, I'm kind of okay. Um, everyone else, Cracker,
Well,
Dylan.
we did take a kind of big hit from the ghost that was supposed to be on our side, and it actually yelled fireball, so we should have known. But I didn't have time to react. So, and I'm out of cat form.
Okay. So maybe we should just come together, do some praying, and get like healed up instead of like us all like individually trying to heal ourselves, because I think it's gonna be more resourceful if we all just do it together.
Yeah. So how big of a range does that?
Uh, um, 30 feet. But I feel like, I mean, I mean, the closer we are, I feel like it's nicer, right? It's more
Yeah, I was
personal.
just thinking about saving some time and maybe start looting. So if you sit inside the temple, we can loot and investigate while you pray.
Okay, true. I can move into the middle, right?
Rebecca's so sweet.
Okay, Mirror, you need to come closer. Yeah, so wait, no. We need to. Okay, so she's busy, so I'm gonna go. Wait,
Hilarious.
wait.
I can tell that
I-
Rebecca in real life is the person who gets everybody together for the photograph.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mom friend.
I
I
am
wanna be
going.
like I want to be like the child and run around everybody with my 3 Byleths and then hold sophisticated conversations with myself.
Okay.
Finally, somebody who understands me.
All right.
The narcissist's dream spell.
Yes.
I'm casting Prayer of Healing.
Cool. Is Mira getting in on this, or is she like just being, defiant?
She would like to.
She's in range.
Okay. All right.
Um,
No, she's not, because you can't see her.
ah, damn.
There's a wall between you.
Oh no.
Well, it
Oh,
takes
well.
10 minutes.
I mean, you said I can move while casting Detect Magic,
Yeah, you can move.
and I will move.
Yeah. So I'm just saying that while you're casting it, you can't like be running around doing like other things like interacting with the environment a whole lot. And I see. I see. You were being passive aggressive. I get it now. You were so passively aggressive that I didn't even until just now. And then I was like, why is
No.
her tone kind of bitchy? Oh,
No,
that's
I
right.
just-
Oh,
No, I
see.
wasn't. Remember what I said about my voice?
Mm-hmm.
About
Resting bitch
having-
voice.
Yeah,
Mhm,
that's what happened.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. Yes. So Mira can join in on the prayer of healing. No one's stopping her. No one's saying she can't join in. Standing outside the doors as the doors slowly close, like the final scene of The Godfather.
I feel like someone doesn't want me to get healed.
It's funny that Laura mentioned talking to herself as understanding herself, because that's literally the myth of Narcissus, isn't it? He fell in
Yeah.
love with his mirror image in the lake.
Well, I'm just
Mhm.
too handsome.
You
It's just
are.
that there's 3 of us and I don't know, just besties.
Just besties.
We're also like kind of gossiping about the others. Cracker smells this bad again. Even though I'm also, but then I'm gonna be alone.
This is an interesting turn for this episode. Yeah. I feel like we're gonna start rolling initiative soon.
No.
Okay. So, yes. So you complete. So, is anybody else doing anything besides the prayer of healing, which is also taking 10 minutes, and the ritual casting of detect magic, which is taking 10 minutes? There's
Checking
still
bodies.
Mm.
okay.
Lootness.
I had one more question. We got temporary hit points from Orla. When do those run out? Moxie, me, and someone else got them.
Yes. So they're not technically temporary hit points. I think we just put it. But yeah. So technically, it's your hit point max is higher by 5. So
Mhm.
that's So actually, when you, for example, heal now, it would also you can heal up to that amount. So the new max. I think it was 8 hours.
Perfect. Excellent. Well done, Rebecca. Yes, so it's 8 hours, which means I think it's only been like not even an hour yet, really. I mean, it took you guys a while to cross the bridge, but beyond that, the combat itself only took a couple of minutes. Not even. So you're looting the bodies. Byleth is gossiping amongst herselves. And the other two of you, the barbarian and the druid, are looting bodies. Okay. So aside from a lot of these House Duskrin tabards, most of the bodies are basically just warriors. They all seem to be drow warriors. They're outfitted almost exactly the same. The differences may be that some of the weapons are missing, or some of the weapons are broken. Some of them don't have any crossbow bolts. The armor's generally, as you would expect, decent armor, neglected for over 100 years. It's a dry, hot environment, so it's in pretty good condition, but it hasn't been oiled, right? And it's not particularly special looking other than being good quality original armor. It could probably be serviceable for somebody of an elvish build if they were to spend time and effort fixing it up. But it's not something you could just don today and immediately be able to use effectively. You might have a small penalty if you wanted to try to use it. It's mostly chainmail, short swords, small hand crossbows, a number of personal effects, some coins and loose, other items that may or may not be valuable, things like dice, little trinkets, armbands that don't seem to be particularly expensive. They're not made of gold or anything, maybe a little bit of silver, some small rings, a couple of earrings, that kind of thing. Now, when you say you're looting the bodies, are you looting the Sverfneblin bodies as well, or the items that look like they belong in the temple that aren't attached to the bodies of the drow warriors?
Mm.
The gems on the statues, they're pretty big.
Yeah.
They look like chicken eggs. I mean, the statues themselves aren't that big because, the gnomes are pretty small, but the gems look like they're about chicken egg sized.
You'll totally get caught out.
A cleric is watching you.
I really want.
No one's stopping you. Not even your resting bitch face bard.
It's resting bitch voice, excuse me.
Oh, resting bitch voice. Sorry. Yes. Her face is actually kind of sweet.
Aw.
It's just when she opens her mouth and it's like, hello.
Oh my
I
God.
don't know
Oh
what
my
you're
God.
talking about, man.
Oh my God, Chandler, you're so funny.
Oh my god, Michaela, have you heard?
Well, I am just going to go over to one of the statues and just kind of touch the gems, not remove them, but just touch them to see if any.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's now again, in the interests of preventing or trying to prevent metagaming and also promote immersion, like I've said before, you guys will roll lots of things that maybe don't have anything to do with reality. There's maybe not going to be an effect. So don't read into the fact that I might ask you for a roll. But since you're touching it and you're trying to perceive something, I'm going to have you roll something. Go ahead and roll perception if you'd like, or something else if you think that's better.
No, I'm just going to touch it and try to perceive around me if anything changes, happens, attacks us,
Okay.
anything.
Okay. Since you're willing to touch it, you can also choose investigation.
No, perception. I want perception.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So the first thing you notice is this is a beautifully carved and smooth gemstone. I think as culturally an elf, you might not be an expert on gems, but you know value when you see it. It's beautiful. It's although it is reddish, it is iridescent internally, and it has been polished into the shape of an almost like an egg, but it somehow still manages to whereas most gems reflect light because of the actual outside edges catching light and bouncing them. This is reflecting light by capturing it and somehow bouncing it internally. It also feels slightly warm to the touch relative to everything else that you touch around here. The whole place is relatively warm, so it's not like it's freezing cold stone, but it is stone, so there's a lot of mass, and it's very dense. This actually feels a little bit warm.
But nothing attacks when I touch it.
No, nothing attacks when you touch it.
Wah, 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 wah.
And I take out my dagger and start to pry it loose.
Yeah.
Whole temple starts to shake. The columns come crashing down. Bits of stone masonry fall from the ceiling.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah, exactly. A giant stone ball comes rolling down one of these hallways.
Well, I'm not gonna try and take it out before the casters are done with their ritual. Just
Okay.
in case something happens.
Thank God.
I don't want them to.
Okay. So why don't you each roll 1d 1d100 and 1d20? Yeah, sorry, Henrietta. I meant you and Yvonne, since you two are doing the searching. Byleth is not doing searching, right?
100 and a.
D20.
Right.
Is Byleth searching as well? She can search as well. If she wants.
Yeah.
Or loot.
course.
Okay. All right, cool. Go ahead and
Because
roll
I'm
100.
3 people, I have a higher chance.
Oh, well, it's just a mirror image. So they basically just follow you. They basically
know.
just walk alongside you. They do exactly the same thing. So as you bend down to touch something real, the other two images bend down, but there's nothing to touch. So
Still the illusion of being better.
Placebo effect.
I don't know.
yes, exactly. Okay. So the combined value that you find is essentially each of you who rolled a D100 find that many silver pieces. And the D20 that you rolled is the number of gold.
I'm so bad at this.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah. Yeah. So the starving barbarian former waitress finds 23 silver pieces and 3 gold pieces. The already wealthy druid finds 82 silver pieces and 12 gold pieces. And the incredibly beautiful and self-absorbed dragonborn gets 87 silver pieces. Now, you guys can choose to share it with the rest of the party.
The rest of the party who are currently healing you.
That's your choice.
Huh.
I usually pay for everything anyway, so.
Yeah.
Give me that. She shouts as she takes it out of everybody else's hands. Okay, so whilst you're also searching around the room, I mean, you do notice that this body on the dais is dressed differently from all the other bodies. Some of the bodies protecting some of that died looking like they were either protecting the books or trying to carry books. They are dressed in what appears to be more the engineers' outfits that you've seen. But this one is dressed in proper robes, right? They're deteriorated. They basically have molded and or broken down. But you can tell that there's still a bit of finery. There's even a bit of gold and silver that looks like it's inlaid, and that gold and silver fiber or thread seems to be in very good condition. But the robes themselves have. You actually go up to the dais and touch the altar, touch the.
Oh,
I'm not going to.
like I said, I think I'm gonna wait until people are done with
Okay.
their spells.
How about Byleth?
Um, no. Could I analyze some of the books if they might be useful? Maybe like how to bring back your parents from the dead. Structural guide.
Oh. Sure. Now, Byleth does not read Gnomish,
Oh, true.
so it's all in the scrawling dwarven. It's obviously dwarvish lettering, but beyond the dwarvish recognition of dwarvish runes, Byleth is going to struggle.
Is there a book that looks like particularly? I could use
What
it
would
as a
be your
gift, maybe.
what would be your definition of pretty?
Well, like some like artsy stuff, a bit like of decoration around the books, very nice binding of it.
There is something over here. It's literally inside of a case. It's got broken glass around it, and it's open. There is some blood stained on it from the body that's laying across it. As you move the body to the side, you see that it is not only a book that is well written in terms of the placement, but it has beautiful filigree and illustrations. And it is leather bound in a kind of leather that you don't recognize initially. It has a lot of gold and silver inlay on the covers, and it has a very large silver clasp that goes around the outside of it if you were to close the book. And it's very, very large. It's probably 3 kilos in weight.
Ooh,
Hefty.
that's a lot. Could I still take it?
Sure.
Yay. Looks so pretty.
Okay. You take it. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So just if you could in your inventory write down the beautiful book from the smooth. Okay, so if nothing else is happening, let's get back to the 2 ritual casters or the 2 spell casters. Orla completes her healing spell. Do you want to? So is it 10 points for everybody then?
Yes, 10 points for everyone.
Wow. Thank you very much, Rebecca. Did everybody say thank you?
Thank you.
I
Thank
reach out a
you.
stinky arm and I give her a big hug. That felt
I'm
great.
also giving her a big hug with my 3 people.
Yeah, we have a
6.
group hug.
Oh my God, she feels so loved. How tall is Orla?
I would say just like average. So I guess maybe like 160, 165.
So like armpit height.
yeah.
That's what I was thinking. So as
Yeah.
the as the 2-meter tall cracker hugs Orla, her armpit hairs literally tickle Orla's nose.
I just tuck her little head under my arm, you know.
Aw,
Aw.
like a little friendly.
Yeah.
Okay. The healing complete. Mira suddenly starts to see things glowing. Pretty much every single book is glowing a little bit. The statues are glowing. The altar is glowing. There are little bits glowing on the dead body on the altar. a number of items, aside from things on your party, are glowing on the dead bodies of the Svirfneblin, including some small things that you assume are rings because they're based on their hands. And this large icon of Smooth Hands is glowing. And there's some glowing going on here with two of these armored figures on the dais, not the third one. The armor itself seems to be glowing for both of these.
Well, folks, we just hit the magic jackpot. There's a lot of magic here. Wait, I have to reset my accent.
Yeah. She got so
It was like-
excited. Her resting bitch voice disappeared briefly. So that's what we need to get the resting bitch voice to go away. Loot.
Loot. Well,
we also have to do the, since somebody gave it away, the wild magic surge table.
oh yeah.
Go and roll your D100s. You will play.
Unicorn.
Succeed.
Unicorn.
Yeah, well, Mira is going to get a level 1 spell slot back,
Ooh.
assuming she used one.
I did.
Rebecca, I'm going to ask you to roll again since you have already, I think we've already done that one recently.
Was that the unicorn?
No, it was not the
Okay.
unicorn.
18 now.
Try one more time.
Okay.
That was a unicorn.
That was not a unicorn.
If I find
No, but
62, seriously? Again?
All right, I'm going to choose one
I've
randomly.
I've
Okay. Sure. You start regaining 5 hit points every round. You're basically going to be at full health
5.
if you weren't
exactly?
already. Well, it's
Oh,
going to
no.
be 5, but it keeps going every round.
Okay.
And since you don't have that many hit points, you're going to be at full health unless something interrupts it. But unless you guys do something really stupid.
Like
Oh, did I
like
say that
taking-
out loud?
just-
No,
That
I
a
did I
challenge?
say that?
Sorry, what?
that's my cue. I grabbed them.
Don't do it.
Wait, no. Okay, good. Yeah, that worked out well. Gonna have to find something more vicious sounding than this table. This table's too nice. Okay. There is a fireball. There is one where you cast a fireball on yourself. Which apparently I know somebody who says they did that. Killed the whole party in the middle of a combat. So there you go. All right. So what do you want to do? Mira's the only one who can see what's glowing.
Well, well, Mira tells everyone. So basically everything here is glowing. So, can I see what kind of magic?
Yes, Mira can tell what kind of magic it is. For the most part, all the things on the dais are either are either divination or abjuration magic, i.e. protection magic. There are little bits that are glowing on the dead Svirfneblin bodies, like the rings. They're also divination magic, such that they're wearing, or the little brooches or the amulets. The armor that these two dead bodies on the dais are wearing are both glowing with abjuration magic, but one of them also has summoning magic
What kind
attached to it. Well, one of them is wearing a Sverfneblin size, and the other one is it's
And what about the eggs?
oh, right. Yeah, they're glowing divination.
Okay, I relay all of that information to the group,
Mm-hmm.
and I would like to take some.
Okay. Yeah, so most of these guys are basically wearing the same ring, which is the symbol of smooth hands. Some of the other bodies that seem to be civilian bodies, they're not wearing anything special in terms of, smooth hands related regalia, and there's nothing glowing that's
And then I go to Byleth, well, one of the three Byleths. Look at one of the three.
Do you say something to
By-
one of the three?
Yeah. Byleth, a lot of these books are glowing. So maybe they could be useful to you.
Well, thanks for the information. I don't know if I can just take every book. And I cannot read them, unfortunately. I mean,
why can't you read them?
I don't understand Gnomish.
I mean, you can ask Moxie.
Yeah, I mean, I could also do the comprehend languages, but
Okay.
the thing is, I don't know which books are best to take. So,
And maybe
is there like some books that are glowing more than the others, despite the one that I've already taken?
So the one that Byleth took first, she's put in her rucksack, presumably.
Mhm.
So you can't actually see that one. But for the ones that are still out, and just to be clear, it's not all books. Some of them are scrolls. Some of them are just sort of loose. They look like papyrus scrolls, except you suspect they're probably not, since papyrus comes from reeds that grow in the sunlight, and this is obviously not a place that has reeds growing in sunlight. But the closest underground equivalent. Some of them are scrolls that are a bit more formal and manicured, so they are the kind of scroll that basically is a scroll of paper between two and they're carried as a set of rolls with the scrolls attached to both of the rolls. Some of them are books like you would expect, like just standard books with a hardcover. Some of them seem to be tablets, so they're not actual books with paper or some kind of paper-like material or even vellum. They're actually metal plates, large metal plates with engraving on them, and they're just connected to each other by several steel or metallic rings, and the plates seem to be for copper. So when I say books, I mean a whole bunch of things that are engraved that clearly have some recording usefulness. There are also tablets that are engraved into the wall, stone tablets. These are not glowing, but they could be potentially chiseled out. Although some of them.
And are any of them glowing more?
Several of the scrolls are glowing more than the others, and one of the metallic books is glowing quite brightly. That has some summoning magic attached to it.
Okay, Mira points.
But I assume that the metal thing is like heavy and hard to carry.
Yes. Yep. So the book that you picked up is 6 pounds. Make sure that you include that in your inventory weight. The metallic book, if you will, weighs 4 pounds by itself. but it's very small. So for its size, it's very heavy. It's only the size of a. It's probably the size of two of Byleth's hands.
Mhm.
So it's almost like a small prayer book kind of size, but it's very deeply inscribed and chiseled. The scrolls, some of the scrolls are very long. They're physically the scroll bits, including the handles on either side, are about
Mhm.
so they take up a lot of space.
Well, we do have some room in the bag of holding.
Mhm.
Oh.
So we can put something in there, and you can go
Oh.
through it when you take some rest, when you camp out. To see what you
Yeah.
got.
That sounds great. All right.
I have a,
I want to do that. So I want to
I have
take
a
the heavy book.
question.
Okay, you're taking the metallic book. Yep.
And some scrolls. Or all the scrolls, if it fits.
I don't know how much capacity you guys have to carry stuff, but there's literally like a whole shelf
Oh,
along this wall
then
that's
never
got 2
mind.
rows of scrolls and books and things. So I mean, you guys could probably carry most of it if you really wanted to, but you'd have to take some time organizing it all.
I will
Byleth,
try first, and then I'm like, no.
Byleth, would you like for me to look for specific kinds of magic?
Uh, I no. I think it's fine. I mean, if they're like spell scrolls, then I don't really care what magic it is. Magic is good. Magic does the things.
Okay.
I mean, how many would fit in there, or how many is it? Could I take?
Well, how much capacity have you got? We'll start with just carrying capacity. Like, how much can you carry still?
Wait.
If you're tracking inventory correctly, it should.
Uh-huh.
Just tell me how much your total inventory weighs, and then your strength score.
It's 40 right now, and my strength score is like 10, so
Oh, your strength score is 10? Okay, right, because you're okay.
Mhm.
So you should be able to carry 150
Mhm.
pounds. Your total inventory weight.
yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess it's possible you don't have any armor.
Yeah,
So
no, I
you
don't.
could, in theory, you should be able to carry 110 pounds.
Mhm.
So I mean, 110 pounds is a lot of books. I don't know that physically you could carry all that many without becoming encumbered just by virtue of the bulk of it. But from a weight perspective, in theory, if you have it all in one container, you
Mhm.
carry most of the scrolls, at least. Maybe not all the heavier books,
Yeah.
and certainly not.
Um.
So do you want to if you want to spend time looking through things to try to figure them out, even though you don't read Gnomish, you could probably discern which ones are more valuable looking, which may or may not be a good indicator. Uh,
Mhm.
if Indiana Jones and Last Crusade taught us anything about not falling for judging books by their covers, literally. Uh, but you could also spend some time trying to figure out which ones might be more valuable just because of the sheer amount of artwork that's included in them or how much effort seems to have gone into their bindings. That'll take you a while to go through everything carefully without damaging anything. And that'll be similar to how everybody else was taking time to cast spells. So we'll go on to other people to do that, to do other things while you're doing that, if you'd like. At which point
Mhm.
the spell with the 3 violets would go away.
I mean, if it's all right for everybody, I could also just like cast comprehend languages ritually, which would take like 10 minutes.
That would probably be faster than you trying to guess at it.
Yeah, I also thought so. So smart. Um, yeah, wait.
Okay.
So then I would
Yeah.
just do that.
Okay. Cool. Yvonne, was it? Did you say you wanted to do something, or was that Rebecca?
Yeah, I had a question,
Mm-hmm.
and I look to Orla and I say, aren't we supposed to like undefile this temple? Isn't like taking all these religious things kind of the opposite of
Yes, I
what we're
was
supposed to be
also.
doing?
I think you have a good point. Uh, so is I mean, I am religious. Do I know anything about like the etiquette of being in like even like a temple like this, even though it's abandoned? Do I know anything about that? Like, what
Mm,
can I touch? What is that? What is not allowed to touch? What might be a
mm-hmm.
bit more sacred?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Uh, what
I am a midwife, but I
like if you
am
were,
very
yeah,
religious.
I know it's kind of weird, right? Because technically there's a background called acolyte, which you
Yeah.
don't have to be a cleric or druid to be, and yet it is clearly the one where you understand a lot about religions. But if you're a priest or a cleric or druid, you don't necessarily, or even a paladin, you don't necessarily know anything about religion, supposedly. So it's a little confusing. Are you proficient in religion?
Um, I don't think so. No. But I
Right.
was just thinking maybe I just get like a feeling of like me being a very a person with faith. Maybe do I just get a feeling, is this right? Is this wrong?
Okay. So I'll let you roll religion, but you can also choose one other skill that you instead, if you can make an argument for that being a better choice for you, for your character.
Maybe. So I think
Mm-hmm.
maybe this is maybe not really something that's tied to a very specific religion, but it's more like a just the general wisdom of, okay, is this something this is like is this something that
Mm-hmm.
feels right or does it feel wrong?
Yep. Go ahead and roll. Sounds good. Go ahead and roll an insight check.
Oh shit, I
All
had
right.
a advantage on, but it's the 20 still.
It's okay. Yeah, 20 is a good roll. So as Orla closes her eyes and tries to get in tune with the place, it's a little hard to tell how much of it is just the excitement of the combat you guys just survived, how much of it is projecting. Orla's a sensitive soul, but ultimately she does seem to feel as if there's a lot of pain here. Now, as with any action, as with many actions, I should say, intent. So if Orla feels as if she was doing something to try to preserve the temple, either directly or protect its contents, that might be viewed.
I think I think that if we take all these books and scrolls for our own benefit, that would be bad. Now, I think if, for example, if we take them to maybe bring them to, I mean, I'm assuming I know that the temple that we saw that in Blingdenstone that was also of Smooth Hands, right?
Yes, that's right.
So if we just maybe bring them to the priests of Blingdenstone in order to share maybe some things that they might be interested in because it's their religion, I think that would be a good thing to help them see some of these like beautiful books and maybe um I mean we could also leave the books and everything here so that then because we want to basically get rid of the whole ghosts here so they could even come here and make the temple like a new beautiful place for prayer, right? But I don't think I don't feel like if our intent is just, or if we just want to have like to make money out of selling maybe some of these gems, I think that would be a very bad thing, and we shouldn't do it.
Well, about the
I say, looking at
scrolls.
Dylan.
uh, about the scrolls and stuff, it's like we are going to try and save the world. But at
Okay.
purpose then.
One more scroll.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
I mean,
It's
you
ridiculous.
have
not
a,
that
We
big
need
a
help.
deal.
you
I mean,
make a
speak
good
for
point.
yourself. I'm just trying to get to a library. Saving the world, that's up to you.
Well, if you knew what we knew, you would try to save the world as well.
Then why don't you tell me?
Well, it's a long
mean-
story involving demon lords, demon gods, mold,
Pinky.
children, pregnancies.
Ugh,
Yeah.
children. I hate children.
Well,
Ah,
it's a lot. And if we
Demons, okay, but children, ugh.
but if we don't stop it, the whole world is going to be destroyed. Simple as that.
In that case, if we take some schools where we think that it might be spells that could help us defeat some of the other like evil things in this world, maybe if we do a little prayer to Smooth Hands and thank him, that might be okay.
I mean, I think the song that I played must have been important somehow. So maybe if I play it again, it will make the Sky Daddy happy. Is it a Sky Daddy underground?
He's the god of dirt and rock.
Ground Daddy. Okay, noted.
Okay, but but like everyone agreed that we don't take the gems or deface the statues or ruining anything else that we are not 100% sure is going to help us.
Well,
Is that agreed?
What is your definition of help us?
yeah, we
Because
could,
money helps me.
yeah,
Okay,
it
no.
could help us to buy potions and stuff.
Okay, I don't want to be the one to tell us what we can and can't do. I mean, because essentially you are going to do things and I can't stop you. But maybe, I mean, my definition of help us would be things like, you know, those goals for Byleth, because I feel like Byleth really is in it for the knowledge and not the money
oh yeah.
and for being helpful.
That sounds good.
Giving the
I'll
side
go with
eye.
that.
So yeah, maybe we can have a look and see if these things are if they're useful to us in terms of like saving the world, or if it's something that is literally just beautiful religious books, and then we just leave them here. Maybe we should clean up a bit.
I was just
also
thinking
as
the
like
same. I'm going to.
Like,
It looks like this is just right out in the cave. So if we drag
Well,
some of the skeletons from the drow at least and just push it over the edge to clean up.
we want to
sounds good.
clean up, but throwing bodies off a cliff. Is that respectful?
Well, the drow.
no, they're the bad people.
Yeah, the bad people's bodies, not the others.
And I suggest before we do that, we do have to perform some sort of ritual, and maybe we might need some bones.
Well, if we clean up, maybe some of the ghosts of the Smurf Nublin will come. There's not anyone else there.
I am not following you.
We remove the enemy, and maybe the good guys come back.
The enemy is dead.
The bodies of the enemy.
Still, they're dead.
Yeah, but it's not nice to look at. It is. I'm just gonna start and throw it over. I don't care about.
I'm gonna help.
Mira's
you
just standing there like,
Yeah, I'm
what
helping.
the hell?
It's like chucking them overboard.
Yep.
Also, if there are like blood stains or something, can I like I don't have a tissue. Maybe just like take like a bit of like my shirt or something and just like try to like get rid of some of the blood.
100 years old blood.
Yeah, it's like dried. You can see that there are stains across, like I said before, a lot of the frescoes, some of the books, the altar, the entire temple is covered in it. It's hard to see anything really because it's mostly turned into dust. But where it was softer material that might have soaked up some of it, you can see that there are stains. And a lot of things are broken. There's broken frescoes, broken glass, broken bits of metal, twisted shards, things knocked over.
Yeah, I just want to do a bit of spring clean.
I'm gonna use my
Sure.
shovel.
The magic shovel,
Mm-hmm.
the so-called
shovel.
magic shovel.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
Is there a
Sorry.
water thing?
There's a
Isn't there some
font.
sort of a font? Is there any way we can
Yes.
clean that up?
Yes, it's dry currently.
Hmm.
It's not a fountain. It's literally just a font. So you would have to pour water into it.
Have any holy water?
No.
I mean, I've got
So-
mead.
Some would argue that is holy water.
Yeah.
Be good.
If for a bunch of gnomes, that might be holy water.
I am also going to take the bodies of the Smurf noblins and just kind of lay them in a row, kind of hands folded over on top of them.
Like
Just-
cords of firewood. Stack
Just
them up.
Yeah, stack them up. Just to clean up a bit. I was
Okay.
thinking about
You're like,
making some graves, but I don't think they want a graveyard inside the temple. So
Well, I don't know. A lot of cathedrals have crypts underneath,
yeah,
don't
I
they?
don't. But
Okay, so the bodies are being, including the one that's been obviously killed on the dais.
probably, I don't think I would think that was
Butterflies are
anything
gone too.
special if it doesn't
Aw.
look like it.
Okay,
I think I would take that one as well, and I do it with respect. I don't just throw them away. I kind of drag them over and do it respectfully.
right.
Yeah.
Right.
Can I do a little prayer once all the bodies are like aligned?
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Just
Is it a
say,
spell?
no. I
Oh,
just want to
okay.
be like nice.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. Nice is good.
Just say that they fought very bravely and that they're probably really old, so we probably wouldn't have met them anyways if they didn't die this way. But yeah, we are grateful for their service, and I hope they find peace wherever they are.
That's nice.
That is nice.
Mhm.
Well done.
And on the wall
Uh,
over here, I'm just gonna make a symbol of a smooth hand over, kind of behind the body.
mm-hmm.
In my molder.
Very nice. Yeah, you've made a little sort of makeshift grave, moved a lot of the bodies over. The temple's already looking a lot better. There's still a lot of damage, obviously, and some 100 years plus of neglect on top of all the defacing. But certainly, at least some of the more violent aspects of the history of the location have been removed or at least smoothed over. You all feel as if you've done a good thing, but clearly the temple is still defiled in the traditional respect of it. Um,
How do you rededicate a temple?
Violet, were you doing comprehend languages?
Mhm.
Can you look at some of the book and see if it contains something about the ritual that we're supposed to do?
Mm,
Sure.
yes. And when you
There.
complete your comprehend languages, I think you need to do a little wild magic surge table. Let's hope it's not a fireball, because that would not. Although fire does clean,
Yeah.
cleanse it with fire. You're gonna roll a d100.
19.
Uh-oh.
Mhm.
Oh, close.
Oh no.
A puddle of grease forms underneath Violet's feet. Roll a dexterity saving throw.
Why? Oh, true. That's yeah. All right. Uh, okay. It's a
And
4.
and she slips and falls on her backside.
Mira
No.
starts laughing.
I'm also gonna laugh. It is kind of funny.
It is kind of funny. It doesn't hurt anything, and you can stand up again shortly.
I'm gonna use my mage hand to help me.
I can also
Because
help
I'm
you. I'm
like,
right next to you.
oh,
Okay,
You slip as well.
oh no.
So yes, you've cast comprehend languages now. You have to touch the surface, so it's not just like you look around the room, suddenly you can read everything. But of course, you can take time and touch all the books if you're going to do that. Are you going to focus on the books, the walls, anything else? Shelves,
Um,
dais. There's like carving. There's like everything's got something on it, whether it's
uh,
an image, an illustration, what appear to be runes. They could be decorative. They could just be, sayings. They could be instructions. They could be names of people for whatever reason. Historical
God.
accounts. There's a ton of stuff here.
Um, all right. So, I mean, I definitely want to go through the scrolls and through the books.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm asking the party, like, is there anything else that anybody wants me to read?
Maybe the inscription on the walls?
The dais.
All right. I'm gonna do that.
Okay. So the altar itself, if you can imagine, the front of the altar has engravings. There are inscriptions all along the back wall in
Mhm.
very large letters. So they're designed obviously for people in the actual main portion of the chamber to be able to read them from a distance. There are also inscriptions around the pillars, around each of the pillars in the room. So if you're touching the dais, or if you're touching the pillars, or you're touching the wall, you'll need to specify that.
Oh God. Um. All right. I want to touch the dais first.
Okay. So the dais has a prayer written in the name of Smooth Hands, God and patron of all that is under the surface, worker of stone, finder of gems, and deliverer of safety. We commend all those who sacrifice themselves here. And it then says what appear to be a number of names. You think that this altar may also be a tomb inside which may be either bodies or some kind of memorial for a number of Sverfneblin.
I'm gonna translate that to the party. And then I would continue with the walls.
Okay. There are a number of prayers along the walls. One of them is a prayer that would equate to a morning prayer, except that you have learned that the Sverfneblin, aside from being underground and so they don't have access to the sun, are not particularly good with keeping time.
Mhm.
But there's one for sort of what they call an early service, and then there's one on the other side, on the opposite wall, for a later service. But the one in the middle seems to be an inscription and a pledge in service of Smooth Hands, and it seems to have both not just religious connotations, but also a very strong militaristic message. We defend this temple in the name of Smooth Hands. We protect and foster the culture of the Sverfneblin. We will stop all those who attempt to defile it, and we will always seek to re-raise Smooth Hands above all else, because as with all, stone endures. And there is a small prayer underneath that lays out what appears to be in iambic pentameter a ritual. And it
True.
tells you to start with some holy water. It goes on to describe giving thanks to Smooth Hands, praying to the 6 different locations, which you take to mean geometric locations relative to oneself. It talks about appreciating the beauty of rubies, the hardness of diamonds, the softness of opal, and it even discusses the value of non-minerals, including
Nice.
grinding up some silver for the use of rededication.
Mhm.
So you can actually use all of this potentially. You think it may actually be useful for rededicating the temple, but it would also be useful for a number of other ceremonies, such as baptism, somebody being inducted into the clergy.
Mhm. I also want to translate that to the party. Tell
Okay.
everything also about the ritual and stuff, because I think
Eh.
that seems kind of important.
Yep. And
Okay.
as you translate it, Orla, who is an actual cleric, recognizes this as being quite analogous to the ceremony spell.
Oh. Okay.
And
Okay, but
and
we would
sorry.
start with holy water?
Yes,
Mm.
Okay.
but you need the silver as well.
Yes, I know. Wait, do we need the silver for the ritual? Or for
For
the
this
holy?
particular ritual,
Oh.
yeah. So this is not exactly the ceremony spell, but it's quite similar to the ceremony spell.
Does it say how much silver we need?
It describes it in a measurement that those of you who are not gnomes, which is everybody, are not familiar with. It talks of 2.5 talons, but you don't know what a talon is.
This is how Europeans feel when they hear Americans talking.
Definitely.
True.
What do you mean? Don't you understand how many inches there are in a yard?
No,
No.
there's no logic to it. No logic at
Americans
all.
apparently have a
Complicated.
foot fetish.
It's like, Jesus, everyone just like getting overwhelmed here. It's like, my God.
So maybe this is something. So what if we try to get rid of the ghosts, like all the ghosts first, make the area a bit safer, and then try to perform the ritual after maybe getting some assistance from our, well, I wouldn't call them friends, but our Swerfneblin fellows in Blingdenstone?
Or maybe the ritual will drive the ghosts away and then we don't have to deal with them.
Isn't the ritual to get rid of the defenses?
They're also of the bad ghosts, right?
I mean, there's no way. I mean, none of us have holy water, right?
No.
I
No.
mean, if we just have water and we bless it,
No, no.
There's a particular
Um,
spell for it.
Yeah, we need to like. I mean, we could, if we have a lot of silver and we turn it into a powder, we can use that. But
wait,
that
Byleth,
would be a lot of silver.
Yes.
you say there's a spell for holy water. Maybe one of the books or scrolls here has that spell.
Maybe. I yet need to get to that.
I used to be a paladin, and I used to have the spell ceremony. The ceremony spell. Do I remember how much silver we used there? In that spell?
Yeah, let's see. I mean, is that something Delin used regularly as a paladin?
I think I used it one time or something in the game.
Mm-hmm. And do you want to roll a history check?
Sure. That I can do. Let's see. History. There you are. 20.
Okay. Well,
Nice.
I guess since Delin is, if anything, extremely mercantilist, he remembers the prices of everything like an elephant remembering how many peanuts
Yeah.
it takes to buy a beer.
Yeah.
So she's going to tell you that it is 25 gold pieces worth of silver, which basically means 250 pieces of silver.
Mhm.
And since you've already found between the three of you 23, 82, and 87 pieces of silver right there, that's 110, that's 192. You only need another 60 pieces of silver.
Yeah, I have it. But
We,
I didn't
we
get
need,
any silver.
but we
Just
need
kidding.
that just to make the
Violet.
holy water.
Yeah.
But then we also would
Not
need
handing
silver
over silver.
for the ritual. So that's double the silver.
yeah, I have that too.
That's still in for you.
And that's why the denominations are important.
Yes, so we would need 250 pieces of silver to make holy water, but then we also need 2.5 talents of silver for the ritual, which we have no idea how much that is.
No, we don't know exactly, but it's really
Wait, is
similar
it-
to. It could be the same.
Or it could not be.
Sure.
And we can't substitute anything, right? It's not like a recipe, right? Where we can be like, yeah, let's instead of silver, let's use some other stone.
Sand.
Yeah.
I'd have
Old
that.
old iron rations.
I was thinking of phase rest, but
Oh.
I don't know. I don't want to accidentally destroy the temple.
And to purposely destroy it?
I would never do that.
Never.
I used my mind link last session on the ghost at the altar.
Mm-hmm.
I know that she disappeared. Does it say an hour?
Mm-hmm.
1 hour. It hasn't gone 1 hour since the end of the fight, has it? Like-
No, I guess not. You've had 2 ritual castings of 10 minutes each. It has to be any creature you can see.
Yeah, but the connection is still there.
When you're using this trait, you can use your action to get until you You must be able to use this ability. The creature must be able to see you and must be within this trait's range. So if the creature can see you and is in range, then you can still use the telepathy.
Just
So
I'm just gonna walk
so you don't
around.
know for sure.
No.
You're gonna walk around trying to find it.
Yeah. Just
Okay.
in case.
Yeah. That's a good
Yes.
idea. Yeah. Do you want to roll something for it? I think there's a random chance you could run into it.
I give you guidance.
Sure.
What should I roll?
It's almost like a random roll, really.
Yeah, it is. Just D20.
I'll let you use persuasion.
Okay. Good. Let's see. Guidance. Can't forget that guidance.
It's like, here, little ghosty,
Yeah.
here, little ghosty.
26.
But that was perception, though.
Oh my
It's
god.
the other P.
It's the other P.
We'll keep the +4.
Well,
Oh,
24.
pretty good. Yeah.
Wow.
Even better. You actually got 20. You rolled a 23 before the +4, so you actually rolled higher. So well done, you. Yes, the being doesn't reappear, but you sense it. What are you trying to say to it?
I'm just gonna say that hello. We kind of need some help here to do the ritual, and we don't know how to do it, and we really would like to do it, to have it not defiled anymore, to help here.
Yeah. Oh, that's very nice of you. You'll need to use the ritual written on the wall behind the altar. If you look behind the altar, you'll find 2 cabinet doors. There are secret buttons on either side. You need to press them at the same time. It will require 2 people. And once you press them, the doors will suddenly move open on their own. Inside, you will find a ritual mortar and pestle for grinding any materials such as silver or herbs. There will also be a small flask of holy oil and some relics for smooth hands for ceremonies.
Okay, very good. Thank you. How much silver do we need?
2.5 talents.
How much is that? We don't use that measurement anymore. Well, on the surface anyway.
There is a scale as well inside the cabinet.
And that's everything we need.
Should do.
Is there anything else we could do here to help?
If you plan to rededicate the temple, it would be best to leave things as they are. But unless you have a priest of smooth hands with you, we would feel better if you took the relatively expensive and valuable gemstones from the statues and returned them to the primary temple of Blingdenstone.
That we can do. We don't have a priest with us. We have a cleric, but not a smooth hand. So we will take the gems and return them to the main temple in Blingdenstone.
Ah, that feels better. And then you sense sort of this relief, this wave of relief just coming from this being, and the connection is severed.
Okay, ladies. I need another hand here at the altar.
Can I just throw a skeletal hand at her?
Very funny.
Yes, you can do that. Mage hand can do
Virat throws a skeletal hand.
But we got rid of all the drow.
Yeah. Cracker.
There may be
Alright.
one like chopped off hand somewhere around on the floor.
Please
Yeah,
let me
you-
do it.
Okay, so two of you press the buttons, and you hear a small click, and suddenly the backside of the altar back here, away from the main area, pops open, and the two doors slightly swing out loosely, and you realize that they were actually very cleverly constructed hinges along the outside of the altar that you couldn't see. And inside, as explained, there's a separate cabinet with several different size shelves. Each shelf obviously is designed to hold one particular item of importance. There's a very large silver urn that has the Smooth Hands logo on it. There are a number of what appear to be formerly very fine bits of cloth, possibly related to the rituals themselves, or maybe vestments to be worn by priests or those performing the rituals. There is what appears to be a larger, more portable sized logo of Smooth Hands that seems to be made of crystal that's see-through, and inside there seems to be some sort of a liquid. It's been preserved. There is a small scale with a number of different weights on them, and you can basically, it's a balancing scale, so it's two pans on either side, and you've got these little weights that you can put on one side, and they each have on them something written underneath that tells you presumably what the measurements are. And you can also use a number of other things, including a mortar and pestle that's made of a very strong bronze with some ivory on the handle of the mortar. And the base is made of stone.
Let's play some silver.
Yeah. You take out the silver, you've got the scale, and it turns out that a talon is basically the equivalent of 100 coins of weight. So 2.5 talons would be 250 coins.
Told you. Okay, but since we have the holy water, we don't need silver for that. So only 250. And now I need to do math.
I hedged my 23.
Oh, you can keep it. I need to get rid of some coins.
Where did you get all these coins from?
From the Temple of Lol. I stole it from a goddess.
Okay,
Nice.
So you stole from a goddess, and now you're adamant of restoring this temple.
Well, she was an evil goddess.
I mean, how do we know that Smooth Hands isn't?
Can you maybe not say that in here?
Lightning strikes.
Well, he's not from the Hell's Abyss, so I guess he's better than Lol. So.
Relative.
Yeah.
Suddenly, Mira is just engulfed in radiant energy as she disappears, and all you see left are some broken and fizzled out bones, including one hand.
Granddaddy didn't appreciate that one.
No.
I mean, I respect him because he has smooth hands, and that's something I strive for.
He also has cool shoes, so
True.
that's the thing.
Maybe a bit impractical.
And also, the ghost told me that we should take the gems from the valuable gems from the statues and deliver it back to the head temple in Blingwingstone. So
Again, you defiled another temple, and you're doing so much effort for this one.
well, I'm trying to be better.
I Okay, I can. After hearing this, I will go and carefully take the gems. And I'm saying out loud, I'm taking these to give them to the main temple. I'm not taking them for my own benefit.
Okay. Are you going to pry them out?
I'm just gonna see if they will come. I'm just gonna reach for them, and I'm just gonna try to carefully see if they're stuck or if they're coming out.
Yes. So as you say these words, you notice that the fingers, although they are very small and they appear to be made just of basic stone, are actually extremely well designed and camouflaged metallic claws. And they essentially act as prongs holding the gem in place, like a setting. And as you've said this, the setting removes its fingers. The fingers actually retract into what would be the hands, and the gem sits loosely on the palm.
I take it.
And nothing happens.
I
You
mean,
have the gem.
I have it. Okay, I'll say thank you, and I want to do that for the other statue.
It repeats. So meanwhile, you've got your 2.5 talons worth of silver. Are you furiously pounding away at it?
I am.
Oh,
Just bang, 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 bang.
I'm gonna try
Yeah, Barb.
and notice that I'm not doing a very good job, and then I'm gonna leave it to Cracker because she's a lot stronger than me.
Cracker's just going at it like Bam Bam from the Flintstones. Yes, so you do manage to powder it. It takes quite a long time to powder a lot of 250 silver coins. I mean, it would be faster to melt them, probably. You'll be here for a while. Do you guys want to take a break?
Yes.
Sorry.
I'm trying not to cough this whole time.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
Okay, so let's take 5 minutes.
Okay.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Hi. We hope you're enjoying this episode, and if so, please like and subscribe. And remember, the next time your DM says, roll initiative, yell back,
Here.
Hold my earrings.
Here, my earrings.
This is good. I think we only need this take.
Yes, so you've got this ritual going. As you complete the ritual, Sorry?
Sorry, I just wanted to read a bit more in the meantime.
Read a
Yes.
bit more.
Like from the
Oh, sure.
pillars and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Mira would
Yeah,
also
so
like to look at the books that aren't glowing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So but Mira is sorry. So when Mira wants to look at the books that are not glowing, she just has detect magic up, right? So
Yeah.
what else is she going to? But Mira cannot read gnomish or dwarvish, can she?
Yeah, but I'm looking at pretty covers.
Okay, sure. Yeah, absolutely. I just wanted to make sure I understood
Valid.
what your functional goal was.
More like a literary interest.
Artistic interest?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah, so there's some very nice engravings. One of the interesting things about the engravings is that Mira, as a half-elf, obviously has some experience with elven culture, although she's more human, really, right? Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
But she grew up in Silvery Moon, which is a very elvish human city. So there's a lot of sort of there's a sort of a blend of elvish culture in there. The kind of decoration and filigree that the gnomes use is very pretty, but not as sylvan as what the elves use, or even what humans would use, obviously, since there aren't things like creeping vines as a reference. But there are lots of drawings of mushrooms and, beautiful stalactites and gems and things. So that's a cultural difference that's quite interesting. some of the actual inks glitter, like actually glitter in the light that you have, whether it's the light cantrip or the various fire sources, that you've got in your party. And she may even suspect that they include powdered gems as the paint material.
Mira would like to take one of those.
The books?
Yeah.
Okay. Please describe that as closely as to what I said in your inventory.
Mhm.
It's brave that she just takes a book without even knowing what it is after everything that's been discussed. But hey, that's how you don't learn that fire is dangerous until you stick your finger in it.
Are you doing it covertly?
Yeah, I'm trying to hide from you.
After I just gave the speech about not taking anything that we don't absolutely need to save the world.
What can you do? Agency, right?
After all, stealth.
If you want to do it, I think you're just going to do it. I don't think anybody has the right to stop you. You've heard the
Yeah.
speech. You understand the consequences.
And I'm also fairly distracted, and you're far away, so I think I might not just see you unless you're like literally saying, "Oh, I'm taking this book." I'm not paying that close
Oh,
attention to you. There's no buttons around. I wasn't worried. Maybe I should have been.
nobody is anybody else's mother.
Mm,
If Mira wants to go, Mira is a grown woman. If she wants
I
to
know.
go do bad things, she wants to smoke cigarettes, that's on her. You really want to wear that vertical stripe and horizontal stripe pattern out in public, that's on you.
It's for a good cause.
Bad fashion's never a good cause, my dear.
I'm talking about the book.
My mother once said that to me. Okay. Right. We are and what was it that Byleth is reading the other pillars.
Yeah, I wanted to read the pillars, and then I wanted to start with the scrolls.
Okay. So the pillars, for the most part, seem to be written historical records of the city of Blingdenstone. The two up here on the dais actually talk about the mythology of Caladoran Smoothhands and discusses in some detail recounting the lore of some of the greatest fights or battles between the deities of good, including the alignment with the alliance, I should say, with the other gnomish gods, as well as the dwarven gods against some of the more aggressive humanoid surface races, such as the orcs and the goblin kind. The other pillars talk about the history of Blingdenstone from its founding through various kings. There's a lot of naming of kings and queens and who succeeded who died in their sleep, who died from overeating, others who died from assassinations. Of course, the last entry is just before the fall of Blingdenstone itself, and it's empty at the bottom of this pillar here by the door. Some of the scrolls have as sort of the headers, assuming you're not reading the whole scroll, because it takes literally 1 hour. Sorry.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, it takes 1 hour to read. Is it 1 hour to read a whole page?
A minute. I think it's that.
A minute. Yeah, it takes a minute to read a whole page. So even if you were trying to read the whole scroll, it would take you quite a long time just to read one scroll, right? You would end up getting a sense that some of these scrolls are mostly a combination of rituals, which are not necessarily magical rituals, but sort of, this is how we would dedicate a new mine. This is who, and then another is a list of patrons who have given to the church, to the temple. Others include the names of the children who were baptized. Others include the names of those who died. So it's an obituary list. There are some actual scrolls that appear to be divine scrolls of magic, and
Mhm.
Byleth can see that they include some spells that she might be familiar with, such as detect magic, detect good and evil. There are some spells that she doesn't really recognize. They say the words like spirit guardians, daylight,
Mhm.
and there's one spell that she has never seen before. Summon greater demon.
Ooh.
All right. Um, I would like to take those scrolls that the magic scrolls, which looks like maybe
Okay.
I could learn them, especially
Okay.
the one with the demon.
Yeah.
But also
So
like
the
daylight and stuff.
greater demon. Now you can cast a spell if it is part. You can use a scroll that has a spell on it if it is part of
Mhm.
your class or subclass's ability to cast that spell.
Mhm.
If it isn't, then you cannot. Daylight, Spirit Guardians, detect good and evil, detect magic. And as with all scrolls, you no longer need the material components.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. So those are the 5 scrolls that you can find here.
Mhm.
All right.
I'm not gonna take the detect magic one because
Fair
I
enough.
already have it. So
Okay.
Um,
Cool.
Do I see it? That you kind of. Are you telling us what kind of scrolls you?
of course
Oh,
I do.
this is worthless as she shoves it into her pouch. Oh, this is
Yeah.
horrible. What a waste of time.
Well,
Shoves it into her pouch.
you never leave scrolls around. You always take them because you can use them. So instead of maybe taking 10 minutes to use detect magic, you can use the scroll and it will take 6 seconds.
Oh,
Yeah.
you are
Mm.
very smart, Dylan.
Yeah.
You know, I like you.
So take it.
All right, I will take it.
Or you can sell it and it will get some gold.
Oh, yeah.
Aren't we
The Dylan
talking
way.
about only taking things that will help us?
Well, this will help us, but I mean, in other places, never leave scrolls laying behind. Always take them. Even if you can't use them, someone else can use them, or we can sell them, or anything. Just never leave them.
Mm-hmm.
Byleth, are you telling us like which spells you have? Like which skulls you're picking up?
Yeah, after I took them all, I would do like what's it? Like I don't know. It's gonna be like what I found.
May I
Yeah. Mhm.
ask to borrow one skull?
Depends. No,
So to be
what scroll
clear,
do you want? I
so
think
to be
it.
clear, Summon Greater Demon is one that Byleth is not familiar with, but she can read it and potentially use it. Detect good and evil and detect magic she can also use, but so can everybody else in the party. Daylight and Spirit Guardians can only be used by the clerics,
I can use
which in
daylight.
this case is just one. Sorry, Daylight can be used by the druids as well,
I have it.
but
Yeah.
Spirit Guardians can only be used by a cleric. So,
Mhm.
and in this particular case, the way magic scrolls work, which we're going to stick with, is even if you don't read the original language, you can still use it. It's like magic armor. It resizes basically to whoever needs it. So there's no real utility in retaining this Daylight or Spirit Guardian scrolls unless you plan to sell them yourself.
I'm definitely gonna tell y'all about it. Also because I don't really, recognize some of them. So
hmm
I'm definitely gonna do that.
Okay.
I mean, would would she say like the names of the spells? Which
It
Yeah.
sounds like she's already told everybody what I
Uh-huh.
just said. So
okay, okay. So can I maybe ask for spirit guardians, please?
Of course. Yeah, you can.
Thank you.
Yay. I'm very happy. And I'm gonna give it to her.
awesome. All right.
Thank
So yeah, it sounds like you guys have passed around a number of scrolls. Poor Cracker sitting there just like leaning on her axe, bored.
I'm working out, man. I'm never bored. Yeah.
hmm There's plenty of magic armor around if somebody wants to strip these bodies.
I would like to.
Holy warriors of the temple.
Yeah, I can only think that. Well, I can't use them because they're metal, so
hmm
no armor for me. But all I can use at least some of them. I don't know about Mira. But...
I would
I'm not
appreciate
that
some
small,
new clothes.
right? They're too small, right?
So the thing is, if it's magical armor, assuming it's normal magic armor, not something specific, it could just be like a fake magical armor. It should resize automatically. That's one of the weird rules of 5th edition. So it just sort of like magically shrink fits to your size, regardless of whether or not you're small, medium, or even large. That always made no sense, but I suppose it makes sense in the context of let's not have people fighting over things like it's a dwarven sized
Yeah.
plate mail.
Well, it's magical. It's magic.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, exactly. It's like I'm getting stuck in like the details, but actually all this stuff is ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
It's,
Well, you can say the same
so,
thing about in other editions where there's only one size of armor or different. You see a small petite woman take on maybe an armor that's used for a large medium creature, and it shouldn't fit, but it does because
Okay.
both are medium. So
yep.
You said something about like there's half plate.
Yes. There's this guy's wearing plate mail, and this guy's wearing half plate. And the half plate, they're both glowing with abjuration magic, but the half plate also has some tinge of summoning magic.
Mm, so I like to pick up maybe the half plate.
Okay. So you're gonna strip the body?
I mean,
it's for the greater good.
Mm,
I would say okay.
as
So
Mira
the
sits
thing
there
is,
frowning.
Yeah,
I
she's like
so
crossing her arms.
okay. So
Hypocrisy.
so the thing is, if I'm trying to save the world, and this armor protects me from dying, and that way I save the world,
You're good.
it might be worth it. So I'm gonna ask. I'm gonna ask. I'm sitting there and I'm asking this dead body is if it's okay to take this armor
It's a dead
Mira is
body.
rolling her eyes. Mira is done.
to see if I get a feeling
It's
of
an actual
approval.
dead body. Yeah,
Like,
he
oh,
didn't
for
say anything,
Saint's
so I guess
sake.
it's okay.
I'm looking up for a sign.
I'm gonna mind link and say, "You're welcome. Just take it."
Aw.
Literally how
Well,
every person starts on the path of doing evil things. Oh, but you see, it was for the greater good. I had to rob this bank because I was trying to help the greater good.
because it will help me save the world.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and he's dead. He doesn't need it.
He doesn't need it. He's not going to notice it. It's not doing any good laying here on this temple floor.
Can I just?
Hashtag
Is he?
free the nipple.
But he's not naked
What?
underneath, is he?
Ooh. Hello.
No, I mean like because I don't want to like leave just like a person around laying naked. That seems bad.
Well, I mean, it's a body that's,
Oh yeah, true.
It's
It's
been over
skeleton.
100 years, right? So there's not a whole lot left to be shy about. There's not a lot of clothing, so it depends on the kind of armor. Most armor you probably would wear something underneath as just a covering because it would chafe, but it depends. Some people, they find it's too hot, too restrictive. So I think it's a random roll in this case, whether or not this guy goes commando when he goes out fighting.
Okay. I am.
And you realize he's only a gnome from the waist up.
Oh boy.
From the waist
I
down, he's a Goliath. I think,
Dead
Rebecca's
silence.
embarrassed. She's like,
No, I'm not embarrassed. It's just Orla is very torn, but for the greater good, and because I mean technically he's not part of the temple. He's just a body in it. I am gonna take the armor but I'm gonna place him next to the kind of our own like memorial that we created. And I'm
and you slip and fall, and the body goes overboard. Lands on
oh,
top of the other drow. Okay, all right. You've taken the armor. Nothing bad happens to you yet,
Mira wants to take the other one.
even though Mira can't even wear medium armor, much less heavy armor.
Oh, isn't it? Oh, okay. I thought I was wrong. Never mind.
Huh?
Maybe I just want to strip the body. Okay.
Yeah, you can take it. I'm not. I was not stopping you taking it. I'm.
No.
Mike.
If I can't, if Mira
You
can't use
guys.
it, she will take it.
You guys can do whatever you want. Just don't blame me when the shit hits the fan.
Mira will just give a massive side eye to Orla.
it's to save the world, and the ghost of this person told me it was okay in my mind.
It's to save the world. Hypocrites.
So how's the grinding, Cracker?
It's all done. Everything
Oh,
is
thank
done.
goodness. And now I'm
Yeah.
just flexing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Cracker's got like a nice, just like the perfect sheen of sweat, just so like it really helps with the definition of her biceps and
Mhm.
triceps and her deltoids. So she's like really looking defined,
Nice.
Good.
and she smells amazing. It's like pungent, like
Silver.
super alpha female.
Slight metallic scent. It's good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's just the right amount of ripeness and blood iron. Okay. How do you guys want to? Do you guys? So you've got all the silver. You've got what amounts to holy water. It's actually holy oil, but it'll work for holy water. You've got the reliquary. You've got everything else you need.
So let's do this.
Who's gonna do it?
Orla is the closest to God. One of the gods.
I might have said that before she took the armor. Now she's just as grubby fingered as the rest of you.
I am not. She is at least
She
she was
is not.
conflicted about it. So and that's really what counts, right? I
I don't
am
know.
okay.
I think Cracker is actually the most noble out of all of you. She's held herself above the loot gathering fray, I would say.
Kind of neutral. I'm just
Your
unlucky.
Honor, she committed triple homicide, but she was conflicted about it.
I killed kids. I thought they were halflings.
Well, I mean, in here,
Oh yeah, in here. Yeah, okay.
So we're just counting our actions from the past half hour.
I'll do the talking though, because I don't know what to say. Here's some
In the-
silver.
Okay, I can do the ritual.
Okay.
in the temple anyway, right? I mean, literally the body's still over there, barely cold, only after 100 years or so. Okay, so Orla's going to do the ritual. So yeah, she can. This will literally act as a permanent scroll of ceremony.
Mhm.
So you can always read it from, you can't take it with you, but anytime you're here, you can cast the ceremony spell without having to prepare it by simply having all the material components and reading it off the wall. So Orla will go ahead and cast ceremony effectively.
Okay.
Do you have it in your spell list?
Yes.
You want to post it for us?
Okay. Because I haven't got it prepared, but it's
No, you don't need it. Yep. So this is essentially the same as the dedication spell, but instead of a humanoid, you're dedicating the temple. And although there's no outcome equivalent to, like, it's kind of dedication in the spell is kind of like bardic inspiration mechanically, but the mechanical section of this is a combination of atonement, bless, water, and dedication. And as you complete the spell, finishing off all of the actual iambic pentameter ritual portions of it, discussing the benefits of being holy, of focusing oneself to the shaping of stone, being like stone in the sense that one should not be bothered by temporal events, being able to work in conjunction with stone as opposed to fight stone. It uses stone in a lot of ways as an analogy to other humanoids and getting along with people. There's a lot of stoicism in there that's promoted as being a primary virtue of the religion. The whole temple seems to get a bit warmer. It's enough that all of you start to feel warm, as in not uncomfortable, but definitely warmer than you were before. The whole place was warm to begin with. Now it's getting to the point where you're just about starting to sweat a little bit, especially those of you wearing armor. And the next thing you know, there's a flash of light that sweeps from the altar all the way to the back. And although all of the damaged bits remain damaged, everything that you saw that looked like some combination of graffiti, fecal stains, blood stains, they're all gone. The radiant energy seems to have cleansed the entire chamber. And those of you, Orla, I think, is carrying both of the gems. She feels the gems pulsing in her pouch. And you are all given a blessing. You may choose the kind of blessing you wish to have. You can have an extra 5 temporary hit points. You can have the bless spell, or you can have the equivalent of a bardic inspiration. So the bless spell, as a reminder, is primarily for saving throws and attack rolls.
How long does it last?
Well, you don't know for sure, but you feel like this is it's not a permanent situation.
Okay. I'll take the bless spells.
Okay.
me too.
I'll take
All
the
right.
hit points.
Okay. So add your hit points and click your bless spell if you have it on your character sheet. If you don't, if you know how to make it, great. If you don't, I can do it for you. Or you can just roll the dice when we get to it. But you have to remember to do it. Otherwise, I can't remember. So I'm going to put it in this chat just so we remember. Cracker, bless, Orla bless, was it?
Mhm.
Anybody else for bless?
Yeah, me too.
Okay. Byleth, bless. Anyone else? Okay. Is everybody else getting the 5 hit points?
I was thinking about the bardic inspiration.
Okay. Delin, bardic inspiration, and Mira 5 hit points. Okay, there we go. So you guys feel invigorated. You feel like you've done a good thing. And for those of you with a perception over 15, which is, I think, Delin and is it Orla?
Is it sorry?
Perception of over 15, 16 or higher.
I've got 16 passive perception.
Right. And Delin's also got 16, right?
17.
17, right.
Ooh.
You two will also notice that the little reliquary full of holy oil has refilled to the top. It's not dramatic, it doesn't bubble, it just suddenly, it was about half full when you started, and then you used some of it and became less than half full, and now it's full all the way to the top again.
Do you think we should take it and give it to the people in Blinkenstone to the main temple, like the gems?
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
But what if there needs to be another ritual?
Yeah. You can put everything back
Okay.
into the altar and close it again.
Okay, yeah, also good idea.
I was just thinking about maybe taking. I have an empty wine. I was just thinking about maybe taking a vial of holy oil.
Do it.
So, and
Good
Wait.
plan.
it can come in handy. I'm gonna do it.
Okay. Yes, there are actually little flasks in the back of the cabinet that are empty, so you could, in theory, just fill one up.
Okay, I'm gonna do that.
All right.
Oh, oil.
And so, if we did another like kind of ceremony in here, you said we would have to pay for the material costs again, or not? We would. Okay. So so no one's getting married right now.
We're good.
I mean, you can. We're not judging. I mean,
Get
you
me
know,
some dinner first.
it's the 15th century, right? I mean, you guys can.
Buy me dinner and then we can talk.
Okay.
buy me dinner, then we
Oh,
can
that's easy.
Well, I mean, I can't marry. I would marry other people. I'm not marrying anyone. I am married, so no.
You're married.
I am married. Yeah.
Tell me more.
Maybe another time. I mean, I haven't seen my husband in a while, but yeah, I am for all intents and purposes married. So I'm happy marrying other people, but I'm not available.
What's his name? How did you
I'll tell you.
meet? The deets?
We have the world to save.
So, and if we don't save it, I'll never get to hear the story I want to hear.
Not today. Some other time.
Oh, come on.
So uncomfortable.
I promise you another time.
So there are doors
I
over
will remember
here.
that.
The DM tries to hustle the conversation.
Moving along.
past. Very nice job, though, Yoni. Way to make it all really uncomfortable. That was very good. Rebecca playing the reluctant, secretive. Yeah, well, you know.
I just want to gossip.
Yeah, apparently, yeah. Okay, so there are double doors here. There is also a passageway past this crane over here, which you have already been able to sort of. Maybe you didn't see it. I apologize if you didn't see it. You should have been able to see it earlier. This whole section is obviously available to you. You can even see from the edge there, as you were throwing the bodies off the edge, that there's another bridge. And there's a room. At least another room and a door over here. And there's even a skeleton of something. All right. What else do you guys want to do?
I want to hear about the
No.
husband.
We know that the doors lead to the level 2 because the stone face told us.
Mm-hmm.
And you saw it on the
But-
map as well.
Yeah.
Remember the map that Byleth was tracing for quite a long time. You're aware that there's a door and a stairwell here, actually.
We are gonna find the machine down there, but we're also gonna find more ghosts that we potentially have to kill.
Do we just go?
Do we
Um,
need to take the face rest first?
Why?
Think so.
Might be probably some face rest down there as well.
Do we know that? If they had the face rest down there, wouldn't they have already activated the machine?
I kind of think something interrupted them.
Uh-huh.
I think it's worth checking. Just going down. I mean, it's not like we're gonna run out. I just pointed all the crystals.
Yeah. Let's just
Cracker
go
just hiding
down and
out in the
see.
tall weeds. Okay.
Do I still have the spell up comprehend languages?
Mm, oh,
Yeah.
is
Of
it
course
1
I do.
hour?
Yeah, it's 1 hour.
But ceremony itself takes 1 hour.
Oh,
Even if it's not a ritual, which you guys were basically
alright.
casting it as a ritual spell, so
Mhm.
I think that would be over by now.
Oh.
But you could have recasted it. I mean, if you wanted to recast it during the ceremony spell, you could certainly do that. So we can say that comprehend languages is up.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to take a look at that book I took with me. The cool book,
Oh, the beautiful one. Mm-hmm.
the beautiful one.
Yeah. So the first thing you notice is that the header describes the list of every single important holiday for the Sverfnebelin. And you realize these guys must spend a lot of time celebrating because this book is massive. And as you skim through it, just picking out a couple of pages here and there, each section has all of the things you're supposed to do on a special day. And it includes things like how you would celebrate the holiday, like the actual holy day. So the rituals involved. It also includes things like your typical expected foods that you would eat and how they're prepared. So there's a whole section for each holy day dedicated to special recipes of foods. And you realize these guys are like the halflings of the Underdark with their interest in, culinary experimentation. The amount of things they can do with powdered mushroom and dried mushroom is amazing, including mushroom bread.
Oh, cool.
They also have special devices that they create for each holiday, including some for the celebration of remembrance of military victories. And as a result, there are actual diagrams for siege weaponry, like ballistae. And in the final section, there is actually a description of how to summon an earth elemental.
Oh, cool. Sounds great.
So you've got quite a cultural reference for the Sverfnebelin.
Oh.
Okay, so it's 12:01. Is there anything anybody else wants to do?
No, I can wait.
Long
until-
rest.
Nope.
Long rest.
Yeah. Well, tell me what you want to do. If you think you want to do something, let me know now so I can think about how to approach it for next week.
Before we go
Set
any
a bomb.
further, yeah, I need to rest for sure before we go any further.
Okay, so that's actually quite important. Yeah, so we can say that we're ending on a long rest.
Sure, and all I can tell Mira about her husband.
Yay!
Aw.
Well, that's assuming Orla wants to discuss it. Maybe she doesn't.
I'll have to think about that. She'll think about it.
Meaning Rebecca's
You're
going to
just
have to
making
suddenly
me
come up
more
with a
and more
backstory
curious.
No,
for
no,
her
I
husband.
have it. I don't have it ready. Like I don't have it in front of me.
You
Well, he
forgot
has
your
a
husband.
dark brown mustache, and he's got freckles. No, make that pimples. No, make that moles. No, let's go back to freckles.
Let's just make it easy.
Okay.
We just montage shit. Just make a montage,
Yeah.
and it's over. Done.
Yeah, he's got sort of blonde, reddish, brown, black hair, and green, blue, gray, brown eyes, about medium, short, tall, average height, and okay. So, is there anything else anybody wants to do? Changing spells. Obviously, Byleth is out, so we're going to be out. We're going to be down a lot. Unfortunately, you guys are going to level 2. I mean, I'm not saying that it's more dangerous, but it's not going to be easier.
I'm gonna roll my important because I can't do it the next time.
Okay. Sure.
16 and 6.
Okay.
I'm gonna cast Goodberry so everybody has Goodberry.
Ooh, that's smart. Because we didn't have that last time, I think.
Nope.
Yeah.
How many good berries does everyone get?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Is it 10 altogether?
It's 10 altogether, yeah. So 2 each.
Well, there's only going to be 4 of you for next week, so.
I
Yeah.
think we should set
What
a
are
watch
good
too.
berries?
1 HP. It's a kind of an emergency berry. I can bring
How
up.
long do they last?
24
Like, how
hours.
long are they good?
I
Yeah.
can post it.
Mhm.
Oh,
So
I'm forgetting
what,
to take it out of my. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. So just as a reminder to all of you, and also for those of you who are new, the good berry can be administered by somebody else, including a familiar, as an oral healing device, which will then bring you back from being unconscious if you're at 0 hit points. You'll only have 1 hit point, but you will be awake and you can act and do other things. So it's very useful in that respect, but it's also useful as a food source if you needed it.
I'm eating one because it's gonna go bad otherwise probably. So
You immediately feel incredibly full. It's like one of those diet shakes that's full of gas, and you're just like,
I feel bad about burping in a temple.
but you don't know. I mean, in Sverfnebelin culture, maybe burping is considered something good. You know, they're so big on food. And maybe it's like the Japanese eating noodles. You know, you've got to slurp loudly to show your appreciation. Okay. Well, on that note, thank you, everyone. We didn't get to do the big combat I was hoping to do, but hey, you know, there's always next week.
What?
Without?
Okay.
Oh my
No.
god.
We're setting a watch. We're
Laura.
setting a watch. We're setting
What?
a
Laura,
watch.
stay with
what
us.
did I- wait.
Good luck to everyone. I'm
Laura,
out.
No!
come back.
I'm a useless level 2 bard.
Oh no.
Yeah, you guys are going to be a little underpowered. You got 1 level 2 bard, you got a really tough barbarian, you've got a really tough druid, and then you've got Orla, who's very effective, but is
without
conflicted.
Byleth, nothing's the same without Byleth.
No,
No, it's not. What are we going to do without our web and large tracker?
I don't know. You'll be
No.
fine.
We'll be fine.
You'll be
And
fine.
another thing,
More-
Laura, have you totally forgotten that you have the belt, Wind of Time, or something? Belt of Time, or something?
No, I know I
Waste-
do have that. The waste of time.
Waste of Time, is it? Yeah.
Sometimes I'm just a bit, yeah, you know. I mean, you can remind me if you wanna
I just
do something like really fast. But
I
yeah,
just kind
Well-
of
I know I have it.
you do have it, right? Yeah. It was you
Mhm.
that, yeah.
Well,
we're
as a
s-
reminder, the spell haste can be used on others
Yeah.
from the waste of time,
Yeah.
and it's pretty good for melee because you can't really use it for spell casting.
Mhm.
But Cracker might get the benefit of it, or maybe Delin if she's in wild shape.
Yeah.
Any of you really.
I mean,
if you're gonna-
I've casted it on Cracker before.
You have, yeah, I remember.
Yep.
Excellent. Well, you guys did very well. You collected a lot of loot. You rededicated the temple. You managed to make some gods happy, maybe some other gods not so happy. At least one ghost has survived, an enemy ghost has survived, so who knows what's going to happen there. And you did take a couple of valuable things that maybe won't be noticed and maybe will be noticed. Who knows?
Yay.
All right. All right. Well, have a wonderful week, and I'll see most of you next week and everybody else hopefully the week after.
Right.
Sounds
Okay.
good. Thank
Happy
you.
Remember, I won't
Easter,
be here the
Thank
week
you.
after.
Oh, right. So you're out the week after. My goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much, Yoni. Thanks for reminding me. And remind me again next week, obviously.
I will.
Okay. Okay, cool. Thanks. Take care, guys.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Have a nice week.
You too.
You too. Bye.